Good day, my fellows, and welcome to Top 5 Ways to Transport Villages in Minecraft. So, as you could have guessed, I'm going to talk about villager transportation today. I'm going to tell you all about the pros and cons of all the methods I'm going to show you, and how to perform them yourself. So this is a little mixture between a top 5 video and a guide. So if you like the video, consider leaving a like, and if you really love it and don't want to miss any of my other ones, consider subscribing. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, let's get right into the video. Starting off with number 5, the boat. By the way, none of those are in an order, so we don't have the worst to the best or the best to the worst. I just put them in the video like I think it is the most fitting for, yeah, this video. So as said, let's start off with the boat. So the upsides with using a boat are that you can easily catch villagers. So as you can see, we just gotta place a boat right next to the villager. There we are, and he's instantly going to go into the boat, and yeah, we can move around with him. This is also the next upside, that you can easily move around with the villagers, so you have the full control about the boat. This is also quite useful. Next upside is also that it is pretty cheap to craft a boat, so you're only going to need like 5 planks, and that's it, and you have a boat, so you can make a lot of these to catch a lot of villagers. And also, boats are quite fast if you have a water connection. So as you can see, if you have a river or an ocean, you can go across. This is pretty useful because, as you can see, you're pretty fast on the water. So I don't think you were too surprised by the upsides. I think you're also not going to be too surprised about the downsides. So the biggest downside with a boat, and I think everyone knows that who's ever used it, and yeah, that is that you cannot go up blocks. Even this little path block is too much for a boat, and this could be really annoying. Second downside is also, if you don't have a water connection, the boat is pretty slow. So it's going to take a long time to get to a place that is quite far away from where you have the villages from. And also the boats are quite annoying to use. So of course you don't want to fall down a single block, because this already going to be a lot of pain to get you back up to the height where you want to be. So you have to like build those bridges and clear out a lot of stuff. And yeah, it's quite annoying to work with a boat. And a little tip for you, so sometimes you have to go up blocks, of course. So what you can do is use a piston. Yeah, you can use a piston, and this is going to push the boat up. Another way to get villagers up a slope is to bring them on the edge of like a slope, and then you can build a little cage around them. And yeah, you can break the boat and wait for them to run up top, or just place instantly another boat. Come on. But yeah, he ran on top, and yeah, you can catch him again, and then you are up a block. So those are 2 ways to get villagers or boats up blocks, so you don't have to worry about falling down blocks. Of course, this is quite annoying, as I said, to do every block you want to get up, but yeah, this is like the only way to do it, actually. Next one is number 4, the minecart. So the minecart is actually my favorite way to transport villages, especially because it has so few downsides and a lot of great upsides. So the upsides are that it is pretty fast, as you can see, if you use powered rails, but even with normal rails, it is pretty fast. Also, you have to build this railway only once, because after that you can use it again and again and again. And it's also automatic, so you don't have to, like with the boat, grab the villager and manually drive him over to where you want him to be, but you can just use it again every time. The downsides are, though, that it is, well, it's actually quite easy to catch a villager with a minecart, but it's way easier with like a boat. As you can see, that's not too big of a problem. Now to the biggest downside of using minecarts, and that one is that it is pretty expensive. So a single minecart costs 5 iron, and a single rail, or 16 rails, costs 6 iron and 1 stick. So if you want to do this for a long distance, it's going to get pretty expensive on the iron front. So maybe only do that if you have an iron farm, which is, yeah, a lot of iron lying around left to spare. Next one is number 3. Number 3 and number 2 are quite similar to each other, so both of them use the village's pathfinding. And in number 3, we're going to use the workstation. So as you can see, if I place a workstation, the villager is going to run towards it, and this is also one of the best ways to transport villagers per size. So now to the up and downsides of that. So the upsides are that it's pretty cheap, pretty easy to do, and yeah, as I said, pretty precise. The downsides are, though, that you can get mixed up with other workstations, though this shouldn't be a problem 1.16.2 anymore, because the villagers I was greatly improved But yeah, as you can see, he's always going to move towards that. And of course, the biggest downside is that he is not going to want to work all day. So yeah, he's only going to move to the workstation at certain times of the day. So if it's going to turn noon or if it's in the morning, he's not going to follow the workstation because he wants to go to bed or he wants to go to the town square. As said, he's just not interested in the workstation anymore. So yeah, this is the biggest downside with this method. And now to number 2, we are very close to being done. And this is using the same method, but this time we're going to use the bat. And as you can see, we already can see the biggest, or one of the biggest downsides. That is that he is going to again get mixed up with other bats. So if I want him to move to this bat, this is not going to happen because he already has targeted this one. So I have to destroy that one, or maybe even every single one in the village, and then I'm able to use that method. Yes, as you can see, he's already targeted another one. So you have to break a lot of bats in the village, so he's not going to get mixed up with other ones. Okay, so there we are. I think he's now targeted our bat, and as you can see, we can now easily move in with the bat. Perfect. And yeah, so the other downside is of course that it only works at night, and that at night, and this is what makes the other method a lot better, is that yeah, monsters are going to spawn. So yeah, be careful by using this method at night. Because it could be that the villager is going to die due to a zombie. So now let's get to number 1, and this method actually includes having the villager killed by a zombie. So what we want to do now is cap the villager off, and there are some things that you should be aware of. So first, you gotta play on hard mode, and second, it is going to be pretty useful if you have a like master villager or just a leveled up villager. So this is going to give you even another upside of using this method. And also you're going to need a golden apple for each villager that you're going to transport, and a weakness potion. That's actually why I do not like this method too much, because in my opinion it's a bit too expensive to use for each villager a golden apple and a weakness potion. But yeah, so what you want to do now, if you have checked all of this stuff, you gotta block the villager off. And now what you want to do is lure a zombie in. So as you can see, we have now a zombie. I summoned this one in, but yeah, if it's night, you're going to find one yourself. Okay, this one is already targeting. What is targeting? I think it's there's no villager in here. Stupid zombie. But yeah, you gotta lure that zombie now to the villager that we have over there, and we're going to let the zombie kill the villager. And now we're also going to cap off the zombie of the villager, or of getting out of here. And yeah, now we can let it kill the villager. And it's going to turn, as you can see, into a zombie villager. Now we can kill also the zombie. And yeah, start transporting the zombie villager to where we want him to be, just by letting it follow you. So as you can see, it's going to run after you, and with that you can also move your zombie. Problem is with this tactic also that you're going to be attacked by a lot of mobs, and maybe even by a creeper that's going to blow up that one. Or if you like have a sweeping edge sword or stuff like that, could be that you're also going to hit this zombie villager, so you don't want that. But yeah, move him to wherever you want him to be, and then you have to feed him a golden apple and a weakness potion. So what you now want to do is, if you have your golden apple and your weakness potion, splash potion, you gotta build a cage around the zombie villager. Also, by using iron bars is going to make the process of it getting cured a lot faster, if I remember right. Could be that I'm wrong. Now what you have to do is throw him with the splash potion of weakness, and then feed him with a golden apple, and he's going to start shaking. And I actually think the more iron bars you're going to use, the faster he's going to convert back to a villager. So I'm going to place just some iron bars around him. Of course, you don't have to do that. He is going to get converted back to a villager, but it's going to take a lot more time. So there we are. It took quite some time, but after like 2 or 3 minutes, he's now converted. I actually think that the iron bars did their job. And as you can see, we have now our villager, and we can break all those iron bars. This method is great for transporting them for a long distance, but you have to make sure that they are not going to get killed by monsters or burn in the sunlight if they are a zombie villager. And though it seems like the video is now over, we still have, like in every top 5 video, some honorable mentions. So the first honorable mention goes to the boat and the minecart, because what most people do not know about is that you can combine those. So it's way easier, for example, to catch a villager with a boat, but it's way faster and better to move him with a minecart. So what you can do is catch the villager with a boat, and you can roll with him onto the minecart rail, and after that you can pick him up with the minecart in the boat. So sometimes that does not work, so you have to like replace the boat in another angle, but eventually it is going to work and the boat is going to get picked up by the minecart, as you can see. Yeah, perfect. And now we have a villager in a boat in a minecart. The next one goes to the bubble waiter. So if you want to move villagers fast vertically, this one is the way to go. So you just gotta find a way to push the villager into the bubble waiter, which you can also do with a minecart or a boat, for example. So there we are, and now he's going to swoop up to the top, and yeah, this is the best way to transport villagers vertically. And with that out of the way, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, consider leaving a like, and if you really loved it and don't want to miss any of my other videos, consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate that, and yeah, see you next video. Bye!